What movie are you watching?
Oh man, just playing some Netflix, man.
You just watching Netflix?
Just watching Netflix, bro. Oh my god, I won on Netflix.
The future is here.
The future is here, everybody. We're here to talk about Netflix today. Now, Netflix, I don't know if you guys know what Netflix is, but let me just tell you what it is. It is a place that you go and play games now, okay? You want to play mobile games? Well, you don't go to Google Play or the App Store or some shit. You go to Netflix, because that is the future of gaming. And all jokes aside, I actually think that if Netflix lands this correctly, it could give a lot of other big developers a run for their money. Netflix, we'll get into it after the drop. But
I disagree with that, but then we'll get into it.
I'm just trying to cut Alec off. Okay, there's a lot to go through here. They have plans to go in. Netflix has plans to go into the gaming space, and it's going to be completely free. In terms of you're not paying any more than what you're currently paying for your subscription.
It'll be included.
Is what
man to say. Sam meant to say.
That's what I meant.
We just got to drop because I'm not talking right.
Yeah, okay. Well, no one wants you to talk anyway. All this and more after the drop. And on a side note, all the people that have been listening to my music, thank you very much. Top comment, have a look at it. You guys are great.
That really is a side note.
We are approaching 500,000 plays on my album, which is really nice. So please continue to check it out. So, speaking of streaming, because you can stream the music, Netflix is, of course, one of the biggest players in the space.
That was one of your better segues, I must say.
Thank you.
And that's not saying much. Netflix seemed to be getting into the gaming space. There's been some whispers of this for the last couple of weeks. Chiefly, there was quite a telegraphing hire of a fellow named Mike Verdu, who is basically one of the higher ups at Zynga, and of course
he works also at EA.
Yeah. So Zynga, there's no doubt they had an absolutely transformative presence on those sort of more nascent days of Facebook, where
Farmville and stuff.
Facebook gaming really was a platform, which is weird to think of when you go all the way back, because no one plays Facebook games anymore. They hired this bloke, and there were whispers of Netflix, sort of dipping in their toes into video games, and now we have confirmation of those intentions.
It's been confirmed in a shareholders letter that Netflix will be getting into gaming, and not only that, it will not be charging any additional amounts for people to play the games. It's also important to mention that at the moment, it's only going to be for mobile. So if you're playing on mobile, there are going to be games that you can play, but if you're playing on your smart TV, that is not something that they're going to be doing at this present moment. But I think if this is quite successful, then I think they will do that in the future. But we got some quotes here. Let's get into it in terms of what they're actually thinking about the trajectory of them being in gaming.
We view gaming as another new content category for us, similar to our expansion into original films, animation, and unscripted TV.
I love how they say unscripted TV.
Yeah, it's not reality anymore because everyone knows it's not real. It just hasn't got a script.
Of course.
Games will be included in members' Netflix subscription at no additional cost, similar to films and series. Initially, we'll be primarily focused on games for mobile devices. We're as excited as ever about our movies and TV series offering, and we expect a long runway of increasing investment and growth across all of our existing content categories. But since we're nearly a decade into our push into original programming, we think the time is right to learn more about how our members value games.
Okay, this is the thing, right? Alec doesn't think that they are going to do... I think that they're going to give Xbox and PlayStation a run for their money in 5 years' time if this is really successful for them. If they are able to make a really compelling offering through mobile at the beginning and then do it on smart TV, and then, as we've seen with their original titles on Netflix, there's a prestige to them now. Like, they're pretty good. A lot of those original Netflix titles are really good. If we can see in 5 or 10 years' time the same trajectory of quality and honing in on their skills in gaming, they've got enough money and they've got 200 plus million subscribers on Netflix. I could see them giving Xbox and PlayStation a run for their money based on how many eyelids are already on Netflix. I do see that angle, but I think it's really important also to look at the demographics of who has Netflix subscriptions. I think everyone does.
But I mean,
I actually use my girlfriend's one. I'm the parasite, but like most people do, in fact, from all ages have Netflix.
But that's the point. That's exactly the point. I don't necessarily think... I don't know... I'm not saying there is or there isn't, but I don't know what level of overlap there is between people who subscribe to Netflix and people who want to play games on their phones produced by Netflix. Our mum has a Netflix subscription. She's not going to sit here and play Farmville 3 on her phone because it's on Netflix.
Oh, I like this house. That's his wife or his girlfriend? Who's an alcoholic?
I'm not saying they're not capable of doing it. I'm saying I'm skeptical, or curious is probably a better word, about what the overlap is between Netflix existing subscribers and people who actually want to do that. Further to that, I subscribe to Netflix. I have no interest in playing Netflix games on my phone.
You think that now? What I'm saying
have no
is
interest.
There's two things. Number one, Netflix did come out a couple of years ago and say that they were competing more with Fortnite than they were with HBO. In terms of eyelids on the screen, they were having more trouble with people playing Fortnite than turning to HBO to watch streamed content. I think that...
And I think that's actually quite a good and an intelligent insight into their own business. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure you were going to continue to say, but it's because it's a war for eyelids.
Exactly. It is a war for eyelids. I completely agree with that. I think...
Well, maybe not eyelids, open eyes. Eyelids means you're not watching it.
Yes.
That's why they send you
That's
why you get that
Netflix.
message saying, "Are you still watching?" They don't want eyelids.
Yeah.
Get the eyelids away.
That's very true. That's very true. But look, I do think that, you're thinking that there's going to be certain types of content like, I don't know, silly little mobile games that are going to be playable on mobile. What I think is going to happen in the future is really successful titles like Borderlands 4, for instance, like they have an exclusivity contract with Epic Games. Maybe in the future, Netflix is the one that gobbles up Borderlands 4. Those things I think are going to be really interesting to see in the future because Netflix knows content and exclusivity is king. And if they can also do that in gaming, it'll be interesting to see.
No, see, I completely...
No.
I completely disagree with that in the sense that Netflix over the last decade have tried their absolute hardest to shift away from licensing third-party content to producing their own.
Yep, that's a valid point.
So Netflix aren't interested here in selling, FIFA 24 so that you can play it on your stupid phone. Like, they want to create what I think what they will be doing is creating supplementary video game content that complements their, very successful film and TV show and unscripted television content.
Look, I think maybe it could be amalgamation like they're doing right now. Like you can jump on and watch The Green Mile, but then you can really jump on and watch Witcher because that's their original series. Like it's going to be maybe a mixture of both there.
But I mean, it also poses an interesting question of what a game on Netflix looks like. I mean, to me, it can go either the Bandersnatch route, where it's like, an interactive story where they've sort of made a film or a television episode and you can kind of choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Maybe some, I don't know, what do you think?
Like a Telltale?
Yes, I think that makes sense within the context of their brand.
Or it could be very much that it is a streamed game that has computational power, so it's not really limited to the graphics within the mobile. It's kind of able to do next-gen graphics if it wanted to in the future. I don't know. We don't know. I think it's exciting to see what they actually do here. I mean, I love saying it at the end, but it is exciting. I think that if Netflix is able to bring out something that's really compelling and it's still the same price every month, I would certainly check that out. But we'll leave you guys now. Love you and leave you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Leave it out.